Hey guys, what up? So it's time for the AO No Exorcist Chapter 29 review, or Blue Exorcist, whichever one you want to call it by. Anyway, so we basically start out with Yukio's fight on the first page, but it was only the first page, and then we swap over to Rin and Ryuji climbing the building on Kuro's back, the giant cat. And then, they mention how they can't really stop to stand on the building at all because the building, the giant city building thing, is actually the demon itself. It just looks like the building. And then we see that Ryuji is worried that he didn't memorize the barrier mantra correctly because he only heard it that one time from his dad. So he's like, I don't know if I can do this. But even in the midst of that, he manages to make a joke to Rin about how because he can't draw his sword, he's just basically a kind of strong guy carrying a stick. So they finally find a place, a little rock where they can land, and Ryuji's looking really determined. So Rin is standing there protecting him from stuff while he tries to do the barrier mantra thing. Anyways, we swap over into a Yukio flashback about his past, and then we see a really cool, near the end of the flashback, it's like a multi-panel shot while Yukio is thinking to himself, and it shows Rin protecting Ryuji, and while he's chanting the barrier mantra, and Yukio is thinking just about stuff, and then Ryuji finally completes the barrier mantra chant, and we get a kick-ass shot of the fire barrier around the whole city giant demon thing. And then the other exorcists are all confused. They're like, where did the fire barrier come from? What's happening? But yeah, it was pretty cool. We then swap back over to the Yukio fight, and he's looking like super exhausted. And basically, it seems like all of his bullets that he's been shooting have been missing the target of the bad guy. And then basically, it turns out that Yukio pulled an Itachi and used the bullets to draw the circles around this guy, the Naiad summoning circles, all around the bad guy. So basically, Yukio starts answering one of the guys' questions to him, and he's like, well, I hate and love Nissan at the same time, but I hate myself even more for being weak. And he's like, water dungeon is the Naiad's water dungeon technique. He has his gun up here, and he's like looking real sick, and then but he looks really, really exhausted because he doesn't even have a tamer title. It's one of his first time summoning. He just doesn't have a lot of experience with the summoning text, especially with he summoned a whole bunch of Naiads at once. So he looks really exhausted, but you think it's gonna work. And see the bad guy in the water, and the bad guy's like, you're really interesting, but you're too inexperienced. And he's like, and all the water just goes away, and the Naiads get unsummoned. And then the chapter pretty much ends with the bad guy has his flaming hand on Yukio's throat, and he's telling him that in a moment he will die. So for next chapter, I don't know really what is going to happen. I have a couple of predictions, though, as far as the Yukio thing goes. Being that he was born without the blue flames of Satan, he hasn't shown signs of having it, but being that his life is in danger, and there's nobody, he's one of the main characters, so he's obviously not going to die. There's nobody close I know of right now that's close enough to come and save him out of nowhere. Of that happening, except for maybe Mephisto's, but I don't think so. I think one of the possibilities, though, is that now that his life is in danger, Yukio might just all of a sudden get the blue flames of Satan. That could happen. But to be completely honest, again, I don't really know. It could or it couldn't happen at the same time. That's just a shot in the dark. The barrier mantra is up, so now if the barrier mantra up, we'll probably see Rin. Not during next chapter, but I think at the end of next chapter, Rin will probably draw his sword. The other exorcists are going to be kicking some ass, and we'll see what happens with Yukio. That's one of the main things. I don't know what's really going to happen, though. It's going to be a surprise either way. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter review. If you haven't checked out Blue Exorcist yet, or AO No Exorcist, I'd recommend checking out. Great manga, and I'll be reviewing it from now on. The chapters aren't monthly, though, so it's obviously not going to be a weekly review like Naruto and One Piece and Bleach have been, but I'm still going to be reviewing it. And I might look for one more manga if I have the time, but I think I might just stick with these 4 manga for now. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the subscribe annotation that'll be on your screen, or go to my channel, subscribe, and thumbs up the video would be amazing as well. Thanks, guys.